Tonight, I'll tell you a story that still haunts the roads of Arizona. A story of a late-night ride and a passenger who was never meant to be. Some say it's just an urban legend. Others swear they've lived through it. But what you're about to hear might make you think twice before picking up a stranger at night. David was a cab driver. It was 2:13 a.m., a cold, windy night. The streets were almost empty. The faint glow of streetlights flickered, and the sound of the wind whistled through the empty alleys. As he drove past an old, nearly abandoned gas station, he noticed something unusual. A woman standing alone by the road. She looked out of place. Pale, almost ghostly, wearing an old-fashioned white dress, clutching a small handbag. Her dark hair blew across her face, but she didn't move. She simply stood still, waiting. Slowly, she raised her hand, signaling for a ride. David hesitated for a moment. His gut told him something was wrong. But it was late, and he reminded himself, a driver never leaves a passenger stranded. He pulled over. The woman silently opened the door and slid into the back seat. Her perfume was faint but strange, almost like wilted flowers. When she finally spoke, her voice was soft, barely above a whisper. "Take me to Willow Creek Cemetery." A chill ran down David's spine. Cemetery, at this hour. But he forced a smile and started driving. The silence in the car was suffocating. To break it, David tried small talk. "Cold night, huh?" he muttered, glancing at her reflection in the rearview mirror. But the woman didn't respond. She simply stared out the window, motionless. Then David noticed something odd. In the mirror, her face looked blurred, like smoke, as if the glass refused to capture her clearly. His grip on the steering wheel tightened. Are you okay, ma'am?" he asked, his voice shaking. Finally, she turned her head, slowly. Her pale lips parted, and in a whisper she said, "I used to come here, every night, before the accident." David's heart skipped a beat. Before the accident. What accident was she talking about? His chest tightened as the temperature inside the cab seemed to drop. Every breath he took came out like fog. The road stretched endlessly ahead, but the night felt darker than ever. At last, the cab rolled to a stop in front of Willow Creek Cemetery. The iron gates loomed tall, half open, swaying and creaking in the bitter wind. The place was swallowed in shadows, with only the moonlight illuminating patches of gravestones. The woman slowly stepped out of the cab. Her footsteps made no sound on the gravel. David turned to look back at the seat. But it was empty. His blood ran cold. He rushed out of the car, his eyes scanning the dark. And then, he saw her, standing right in front of the cemetery gates. Only this time her face was clear. Her skin was pale, cracked like porcelain. Her hollow eyes stared directly at him. She looked less like a woman, and more like a corpse freshly risen from the grave. With a trembling hand, she pointed at a gravestone. Her voice, now echoing unnaturally, whispered, "This is where I rest." David's knees felt weak as he stepped closer, reading the gravestone. Name, Emily Grace. Date of death, October 12, 1979. It had been exactly 46 years ago. To this night, his stomach turned, his vision blurred with fear. When he spun around to look at her, she was gone. The cemetery was empty, silent except for the rattling wind. David gasped for breath, his chest heaving. Suddenly he felt it, a cold hand, resting on his shoulder. He froze. Slowly, he turned his head, but there was no one there. Then came the whisper, right in his ear. "Thank you for the ride." His cab's engine roared to life on its own. The headlights flickered, casting long, twisted shadows. And through the driver's side window, David saw her, Emily, sitting in his driver's seat, smiling. Her dead, hollow eyes fixed on him. Some say, if you drive near Willow Creek at midnight, you might see her, waiting. A pale woman in white, raising her hand for a ride. But remember this, not every passenger is meant to reach their destination, and not every driver makes it home.